All right, so we'll review the arm positions because those are really important. Get the terms down, so repetitive, so you don't have to think about it, especially when you're watching the videos. You can close your eyes, just think about what's happening. Arm positions, because it's all back to the decompression stance, which is getting the hips underneath you, getting that belly engaged, the psoas engaged, the breath into the posterior rib cage. So pulling the shoulder blades apart, pulling the lower ribs down and out. So measuring stick hands is the pinkies on the pelvis, thumbs on the ribs. You're pulling that belly in, you're pushing the ground away with your heels. I like to even rock the feet up a little bit. It kind of shifts your weight a little bit back into the hips more, and just getting tall there. So we're thinking about the belly in first, let the knees go loose, open up. So that should get our head long, not our shoulders. So the breath goes into the rib cage. It helps if you felt like the shoulders go up a little bit. Push the elbows wide.
Do my shoulders go up when I breathe?
Yeah, try it again. Much better. You're gonna get a little expansive there, but it shouldn't be a.
Yeah.
It should be more of a push wide. That's gonna lock these out. So when you go up, head gets taller, neck gets taller, skull is lifting, shoulders are active. Just like we'll talk about the anchoring later, or the pelvis, tailbone's pulling down. Kind of the same idea. These are pulling down and out. The next position here, so keep all those steps.
What did you call that one again?
This is just this is the decompression stance. This is measuring stick hands.
Yeah.
So it helps you build the decompression stance. Next one is long wing. So you just come from here, pretend like you're gripping two basketballs, open up from that position. So what should be happening here is these aren't moving, just the ball socket joint, the shoulder joint itself. Shoulder blades pushed out, so you can actually build a lot of tension in the front of the neck, because now, lucky for Phil, his shoulder blades are screwed to his ribs. This is coming out. So pretend like you're Phil and you got your shoulder blades pinned down to your ribs. That's that serratus anterior muscle, which attaches underneath, runs to these ribs here. So you might feel some widening. Try to breathe wide. And this is the same thing the elbows are doing. You're opening up, getting wide, and that actually helps you come here and you'll feel a lot more tension build. It won't be like, I don't really feel it. Getting tall, adding the long wing. Just open up your wings. There's a couple things we can do from here. Usually we'll go to the sphere of tension. The biggest mistake I'll see is people just they lose the external rotation. So once we opened up, try more of a scoop, like you're bringing up 2 bowls of water, bringing those bowls together. Not trying to spill that water, and that'll keep that shoulder a little more out. You get a little more tension. So not lots of tension, more tension, even more tension. If your fingertips are trembling, having trouble getting them together, like they're little 2 magnets that just, you're in the right position. The other goal here is to push the sphere of tension away from your mid-back. That's going to activate your glutes a little bit more and the suboccipital muscles to kind of lift the skull up. Glutes tuck the tail down so they're both going away from each other, adding a little bit extra length. Lastly,
okay.
Right before we hinge.
Do I activate the inner thighs?
It's more, yeah, it's the adductor inner
Do
thigh.
that before all the other stuff?
This, I like to go, and we'll do another position here that helps us with that, what he calls scissoring and anchoring. This is just good for decompression. So here, same position, decompression stance, pinkies on your pelvis, thumbs on the ribs, getting tall and lengthened. This is what we call the hip hugger, so you're kind of almost like long wing.
I think what I'm asking you is each time we're in this position, which is a lot, okay, are we also doing the 3
Everything starts from this position.
Yeah, 3-point foot and the inner thigh
Yeah.
squeeze?
I would say we like to add the inner thigh second.
Okay.
Sometimes he'll add it first. For me, I really like to get this first, And then I'll come here to the hip hugger, which reminds me to get that inner thigh. Then I'll really feel I'll get a little more active in the feet.
All right.
Those 3 points of contact, which kind of just happen naturally. Just ball the big toe, ball the little toe, heel, all arches. A lot of us like to be on the outside of our feet. Squeezing just the inner thigh alone, you'll notice the outside of your feet will pick up automatically, and that's good. That'll help you be more stable. This is all setting us up to hinge. So if you're in this hip hugger position, you're hugging your hips. Sometimes if I do that first, I just kind of lose my height. So we're lengthening, getting tall. Join us. There. We're just reviewing. Getting nice and tall, hip hugger, and this will also allow you to come up into the platter, which is nice. So a little bend in the elbows. If you want, add the hinge in the hips now. Breath in, sink a little deeper, let the knees go loose, don't lock them out. Think elbows moving away from your hips. Good. Practice that a few times. That's all I wanted to get there.